Alrighty, blind reading of the Sizzle Season 2024 patch notes. I haven't actually looked at these yet. Releasing on the 30th, I think that is today. Yeah, that is today, so that'll be in just a few hours actually. Season and catalog changes. On June 1st, 2024, data relating to Sizzle Season 2024 is added to the game. This includes a new catalog, etc., one new stage, Lemuria Hub, 2 new main weapons and 2 new set variants of those weapons, 6 new sets of existing main weapons, 14 new table turf cards. They didn't announce that in the trailer. That's cool. Not that I play much table turf, but more variety is good. Changes to multiplayer. Added 2 songs that will play during battles. These songs will start playing from the beginning of Fresh Season. Okay. I think that means that the music will be available immediately. Anyway, new main weapons have been added, will be available in the shops at the start of Sizzle Season. Wellstring and Custom Wellstring, a stringer that fires 5 ink shots at once. Just like the Tri-Stringer, if you charge up a certain amount, the ink shots will freeze and explode where they land. Unlike other stringers, if you charge up to a certain amount, its ink will be fired in a wider spread. I thought I had noticed that in the trailer, but I wasn't sure if I was seeing that right. Mint Decavitator and Charcoal Decavitator, a Splatana with a wide horizontal attack range for its charged swipe. The charged swipe has a long lunge to quickly close distance with opponents. New weapons have been added, will be available at the start of Sizzle Season. Custom Range Blaster with Splat Bomb and Kraken, because we totally needed more Krakens in the game. Boozle 2 with Fizzy Chumps, that's pretty good. Custom Hydra with Ink Mine and Splatter Color. This is a good thing, actually. Hot take. We don't need more Hydras. Heavy Edit Splatling Nouveau with Splat Bomb and Crab Tank, because we totally needed more crabs. Custom Dazzers with Burst and Triple Ink Strike. This is unambiguously good. The Burst Bomb just makes it better. Recycled Brella 2 with Toxic Mist and Triple Splashdown. I didn't know it was gonna have Toxic Mist, but more Splashdown is a good thing, because there's, like, no distribution on those so far. They put Stamp on the Wellstring. I am disgusted. Custom Wellstring has Point Sensor Wavebreaker. A bit redundant, but I think I understand what they're going for. That's really similar to the, Dually Squelchers kit in Splatoon 2, except with Wavebreaker instead of missiles. Mint Decavitator will have Suction Bomb Big Bubbler. Got that mixed up with Bubble Blower for a moment. And the charcoal one has Splash Wall Inkjet. I don't like either of those. That swipe distance better be really fucking good if they're gonna make me use Big Bubbler. Because I'm not touching anything that has Inkjet. I do not like using Inkjet. Terrain for some stages has changed. That's more than one. More than 2 even. Barnacle and Dime changed terrain in all modes to increase routes into the center and options for strategic points. That's not very specific, but it sounds like a good idea. Hammerhead Bridge changed terrain in all modes to... okay, same thing as the other one. Museum d'Alfonzino changed terrain in all modes. Changed the shape of walls in surrounding the center in the following modes. Zones of Drainmaker. Oh, that's the one with the spinny terrain. Okay. I'm intrigued to see what they've done with that. Because Museum is just a bunch of bottlenecks. So it'll be interesting to see if they've, like, added another way to get out of mid, maybe? Would be nice. Umami Ruins, changed terrain. Brine Water, changed terrain. Scorch Gorge, changed terrain. Eeltail, Hagglefish, Flounder, Marlin, and Manta Maria are all slightly changed. Watch it be like changing the color palette of a single section of the map or something. Like, watch it not even be an actual terrain difference. Knowing how the last few reworks have gone. Crab Leg Capital. I don't even know which map that one is. Slightly changed the terrain in turf and zones. Bluefin, I think that's the airport, slightly changed terrain and clamplets. So in other words, they did absolutely nothing to it, because fuck clams. Main weapon changes, Sploosh and Neo Sploosh. Damage dealt to Splash Wall increased by 10%. Splattershot Custom Splattershot and Aerosprays also 10% more Splash Wall damage. NZAP. Increase the time it takes for the chance of shot scattering, which increases when firing continuously to reach its maximum. So they're slightly more accurate over time. So if you're like firing in bursts, it'll be a little bit more accurate. Nozzle noses. Maximum damage has been increased from 29 to 31. The Luna Blasters and the Order Blaster and the Clash Blasters all do 10% more damage to Splash Wall. Rapid Blaster and Rapid Blaster Deco reduced the amount of time it takes for ink to begin recovering after firing by about 1/20th of a second. So that would be 3 frames. Carbon rollers, splat rollers, ink brushes, octo brushes, dapples all do 10% more damage to Splash Wall. Tri-stringer and its variants. Area of terrain inked by falling spray has been increased. Adjusted the positioning of falling ink spray to make it easier to connect ink in an uninterrupted straight line. Okay, that's cool. Reflex 450 made it possible to charge in midair at the same speed as when on the ground. Okay, I might want to switch back to Reef for a little while. Specials have been updated. Reef Slider now inks along the rails as the rails extend before the launch. So you can basically lay down a trap with it now. When the active terrain is moving, the rails will now move along with it. Big Bubbler now inks the ground where it is placed. I wasn't aware it didn't do that. Ink Vac. The ground slightly behind the user will be inked periodically while it is active. That's good. A little annoying for when charging in to just melee them with weapons that can do that, but that's an understandable and very reasonable buff. Splatter color screen. Increased damage dealt to the following when touched by the screen. Was that necessary? Did we need more things to be able to instantly wipe out beacons? Like, Wavebreaker already clears half the field. Also, do we really need to be encouraging splatter color to be used? Because people are still having issues with it. That's interesting that they consider Sponge to be taking damage when you shoot it. Like, it obviously makes sense, it's just an interesting thing to see confirmed. Points required for some specials have changed by inconsequential amounts. Big Swig and Paintbrush... Wait, no. Paintbrush, not Paintbrush Nouveau. Both 10 points less. A nerf to Elater. Awesome, I'll take that. Made it so that, when using a dually dodge roll or Splatana, charged swipes lunge towards the Rainmaker shield, the direction of movement will be adjusted so that players do not take excessive damage from touching the Rainmaker shield. Finally! I have killed myself on the shield so many times just trying to charge swipe the thing. Made it so that when season switches and ranks are changed, ranks for players whose X rankings for the previous season were in the top 1000 ranks in any mode will be changed to rank S+0 regardless of the immediately previous rank, and those players will be able to participate in X battles from the start. This will be determined based on ranks at the point when the news at the time of season change is seen. Made it so that the number of times allies used squid beacons placed by a player count toward the number 1 super jump spot and number 2 super jump spot medals. So basically, people using, if I'm understanding this correctly, teammates using my beacons contributes towards my jump spot medal. I think that's what that means. Changes to Splatfest. Made it possible to get conch shells when you win 10 times battles, 100 times battles, and 333 times battles. And you get 1/10 of the multiplier in conch shells. In Splatfest battles, when you battle against your own team, on rare occasions a conch clash, 10 times conch clash, or 33 times conch clash will occur. If you win, you earn conch shells. The rate of conch clashes occurring is the same as the rate for 10x battles occurring when you battle against other teams. The more you win conch clash, the more 10 times conch clash and 33 times conch clash will occur. When you win it 10 times or 33 times, you will be able to board the Splatfest float and take a picture. Oh cool, so you can get those without it having to be a real one. Changes to Salmon Run. A special Triumvirate extra wave can now occur. In this extra wave, 3 king salmonids will attack at once. The number of fish gills you can obtain will be triple the normal amount. Special specifications for some main weapons have changed. Grizzco Dualies increase the maximum damage dealt by 5 shots from 30 to 35. That can still do a total of 420. Added data for new Grizzco loaned weapon. Added items that can be exchanged for fish scales. I'm not sure if the word order is important there. So do they mean they've added a different thing that you can turn in to get fish scales? Or do they just mean that they've expanded the shop? That's a little unclear. Made it so that repel torpedoes fired by drizzlers are less likely to come into contact with terrain. It will now be possible to get decorations corresponding to certain conditions at Grizzco. When you have collected golden badges for all of the job stages. When you have repelled and cleared a triumvirate attack at hazard level max. Okay, cool. No notes there. Changes to Splatnet 3. Added Journey 6 to Wandercrest. Players will be able to support Journey 6 after completing Journeys 1 through 5. Journey 6 can only be supported with points earned by inking turf from Sizzle Season 2024 onward. Changes to DLC. Added 10 Sheldon licenses as items you can get from the DLC Battle Boosting bonus. The DLC Battle Boosting bonus is included in the expansion pass. Players who have already received the Battle Boosting bonus will also be able to receive the 10 Sheldon licenses by accessing the lobby terminal after applying the update data. Other changes made it so that when equipping the Squeezer or Foil Squeezer in Battles and Salmon Run, continuously pressing the ZR button in quick succession at shorter intervals than the weapon's normal fire interval will lengthen the interval until the next shot is fired. The Squeezer and Foil Squeezer are designed as weapons that players can use more efficiently by pressing the button with proper timing. This changes to prevent players from using these weapons at maximum efficiency when ignoring the timing and repeatedly mashing the button extremely quickly. The adjustment has been made in a way so that those using the weapon normally will not be affected by the change. Okay, so I think what it's doing is, originally it was buffering the input, and now it's not. Friend request harassment has been added to the options selectable when reporting users after battles or jobs. Did they see the tweet where someone got a friend request from someone who changed their name to "You Suck"? Did they see that tweet? This update focuses on adding features for Sizzle Season 2024, which starts in June, making changes to Splatfests and adjusting the balance of battles. For battles, we've added things like new main weapons, as well as changed the specifications for some main weapons and special weapons. For the Reef Slider, we have made changes intended to add room for creative use, such as using it to halt an opponent's progression. For the Big Bubbler, we've made changes intended to both increase ways to use it in certain modes, and make it easier to use for weapons that fight on the front lines. For the Ink Vac, while it is already a powerful option to protect other players while advancing, it is not very impactful when used on the spur of the moment, so we have made changes intended to make it possible to move steadily when using it while gradually retreating on your own. For the Splatter Color screen, we have changed it to give it additional uses for players who are already putting it to good use. Also for battles, we have made the change we notified you about in the previous update, where, when a player's rank in any mode was within the top 1,000 ranks for the previous season's X-Battle rankings, they will be able to participate in X-Battles right away after the season change. This change is to alleviate a problem with matchmaking being difficult immediately after the season switch for players with particularly high X power. For Splatfests, we have made it so that players will acquire conch shells in certain battles such as 10x battles. On the other hand, because battles such as 10x battles occur less frequently when you vote for a team with more votes, we have also added a conch clash system so that opportunity to obtain conch shells does not vary too greatly. As for other changes, we have added friend request harassment to the options selectable when reporting users after battles or jobs. We have added this option in order to deal with behavior like using inappropriate language when sending a friend request. In addition to this behavior, any behavior that is offensive, harassing, threatening, discriminatory, or abusive towards others is prohibited by Nintendo community guidelines. Violating the community guidelines may result in actions such as bans. Next update will focus on changes to the balance of battles, and is planned for the middle of Sizzle season. Alright. I don't like that they've added, Crab Tank and Ultra Stamp to more things, but other than that, this is an unambiguously good update all around. It is to be seen what the map changes are going to be, but I'm optimistic, honestly.